People have several issues with water that smells like sewage in many locations and homes. They claim that the water smells the worst, is unfavorable, and appears to be contaminated with sewage. People have pointed out that the smell is coming from all three sources: the bore, the well, and the metro water. These three sources of water appear to be mixed with sewage in some residences. The high chemical level in water is usually the cause of its unpleasant odor. However, in large cities like Chennai, the likelihood of sewage contamination is a major source of odor. Bore water has a bad smell contamination through leakages from sewage lines, while metro water comes from a reservoir where many domestic animals, including cows and goats, have died. As this water was not properly treated with proper disinfectants before being collected in residential sump, it has grown bacteria like E. coli, BOD, and COD, turning it dark or gray along with giving it a strong bad odor. Similar to this, no one can pinpoint the precise source of bore water or the exact spot where sewage has mixed with the subsurface water supply. There may be sewage leaks in your neighborhood, which regularly soak up the sand that is surrounded by bore water and cause sewage to mingle with the bore water or well water. The rapid growth of germs in water day by day can be brought on by even a little amount of sewage mixing with bore or well water, so that after a certain period, the water that is drawn from underground turns to black or gray. The best way to treat this is to first aerate the water, and then, in the same aeration tank, have to ozonate it. By dispersing ozone gas throughout the water, diffusion is produced, which results in the eradication of bacteria and the subsequent production of odor-free water. As we ozonate the water in the aeration tank itself, the foul smell will disappear into the air, and the sediments will fall to the bottom of the tank. Once the right treatment system is in place, the water is crystal clear, smell-free, and anytime we test it in a lab, the results are dependably free of any biological contamination. We are about to view a site that has the same issue today. Here, sewage contamination is the biggest issue, and in addition to that, the water has iron and hardness issues, and they use both bore and metro water. All of this water has issues, so we offer them the complete package that gets rid of the odor, iron, and hardness and assures crystal clear water will be collected in their overhead tank. Additionally, the entire setup of the bore motor, metro motor, filter feed pump, ozonator, iron removal plant, and water softener unit is automatic. Thus, no one needs to do anything to perform the manual tasks. This is the 12-flat apartment in Tinagar where we had our system installed. Let's look at it now. This is the terrace where we completed the entire project. This is a turnkey project, and we handled all installation work, including the shed. I'll now explain in detail about each of these three filtration tank specifications. These two tanks can be utilized in the process of aeration. Only these tanks serve as a collection point for both bore and metro water. The tank cover is already open, allowing oxygen to circulate and naturally aerate. For the iron segregation process, aeration is used. Nobody needs to turn it on and off the ozonator because it will work according to the timing base automatically. This is the one that produces the ozone gas and transfers it through the tube to the water in the aeration tank. As ozonation is currently taking place, we can observe how this ozonator diffuses the ozone gas bubbles. This is how effective an ozonator's ozonation process is. We have joined both tanks by interlinking them in order to reduce space requirements while obtaining a large volume of water. This is regarded as the first tank, so we take a pipeline half a foot above the ground, connect it to a half HP motor, and then connect it to a pressure gauge that is filled with glycerin. With the help of this pressure gauge, we were able to measure the water's pressure and immediately find obstructions prior to the filtering procedure. The first and second filters will entirely get rid of the iron. We used activated carbon in the first cylinder to fully eliminate the unpleasant odor, and the odor-free and crystal-clear water afterward passed to the second cylinder. The second cylinder filters out the minuscule particles, producing water that is perfectly pure from iron, turbidity, and color. The third cylinder has been employed to soften the water. This water softening facility assists in removing water's hardness and delivers the softened water to the pipeline above. We install a tap and a drum to dissolve the crystal salt, enabling the regeneration process in water softening. The sole task they have to do is to dissolve the crystal salt in this drum. This pipeline connects to the overhead tank, where water is supposed to be stored and held without smell, iron, and hardness. We obtain the treated water from the tap for proof. The water appears to be flawless, odorless, and perfectly clear. The client felt satisfied with the installation as well as the water quality.